Welcome to Blindability's coverage of the Blinded Veterans Association 2017 National Convention. Coming to you from the Hyatt Regency Downtown Hotel in sunny Jacksonville, Florida. Join Pete Lane as he interviews guests, marketeers, and vendors from the exhibit hall floor at the convention. Hi folks, Pete Lane once again at the BVA convention. I'm in the exhibit hall and I'm speaking with Bill Kahn. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, how are you?
Excellent. Why don't you tell us about your product?
Sure, our product is the BrainPort V100 Vision Aid. The idea behind the product is to help people who are profoundly blind. The product has a video camera mounted on a pair of sunglasses. Whatever the video camera sees is digitized and displayed on a piece that sits on the user's tongue. Now it works with contrast, so if there's something bright in front of the user, let's say a white ball, they will feel the round object on their tongue. If it's a dark background, they will feel no stimulation. Now the user has the complete ability to change the amount of stimulation depending on their individual tongue, and this product requires training. So we start out very simply with a dark background and a white piece that goes right to left, up, down. But we find through training, users pick this up very, very quickly. After training is done, they use it for mobility. They can follow a sidewalk. They use it for general household use, finding objects within an area. They use it for activities. We had a blind Paralympian who was using it to train for the Paralympics. As she was running the track, she could follow the lines of the track. We have a gentleman that rock climbs with it. Another gentleman that rides a three-wheel bicycle down a bike path that has a line.
No kidding.
It's really to be used in conjunction with cane or a guide dog, but it provides additional sensory input for people who are profoundly blind. If I didn't know there was a coffee cup in front of me, if I didn't put it there or somebody told me, I wouldn't know it was there unless I ran into it. With this product, you can see people coming towards you. You can see other objects within an area. So again, it's the idea of helping somebody who is blind and giving them information beyond the reach of their cane or the guide dog.
So can you describe is it a disc that rests on your tongue?
Yes, it's about 1 inch by 1 inch square. It's got a wire attached to it so you don't drop it or swallow it. It's like champagne bubbles or vibrations on the tongue. And through training, you learn to understand exactly what you're feeling.
How specific, or let me see if I can articulate this, how fine or detailed a view can you get with this device?
Sure. During our training, part of the training are flashcards using 2 to 3 or 4 letter words. The letters themselves are about an inch and a half tall. So that's about as fine as you can get. So maybe a headline on a newspaper. Now it's going to be 1 letter at a time, but that's about as fine as it is.
That's amazing, the tongue being a very sensitive organ.
Correct, and also the tongue is moist. So this is electrical, so there's electrical conductance, so it helps conduct the electricity on the tongue.
So the wire actually connects to the glasses?
It does, it connects to the glasses. That way when you're eating or you're talking to someone, you can take it out and just have it hanging off to the side. It's easy to find. You're not going to drop it or swallow it. Again, people use it for many different things, but it really provides more information.
That's great, and that's good for us. Any information is good information.
Absolutely.
Bill, why don't you give us some contact information for yourself and how our listeners might get some more information on BrainPort?
Sure. Again, my name is Bill Conn, C-O-N-N. I'm in charge of sales and marketing for our company, Rehab Incorporated. You can get us on the web at www.wicab.com. Again, wicab.com. Or give us a call in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin at 608-829-4500.
I bet it is beautiful at this time of year.
This time of year it is.
Much rather be there than in Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'll be home soon.
There you go. And what's the price of the BrainPort device?
It is $79.95, and the VA has just started to supply the product.
Excellent. Good information, Bill. Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Bill Kahn, and his product is BrainPort. And thanks very much for the information, Bill.
Thank you, Pete. Take care.
Hi, folks. Pete Lane again at the BVA convention. I'm here in the exhibit hall, and I'm speaking with Marshall Flax. Marshall has a product called Low Vision Simulators. Marshall, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Pete. How are you?
Excellent. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your products?
Sure. Low vision simulators are a teaching tool to help fully sighted people understand the impact of low vision. So they don't help the person with low vision directly. They don't make that person see better. But if there's someone in their life who wants to know more or just doesn't get it, why can you see this, not see that? Honey, how do you see? Why don't, all those things, the simulators can help get that message across. They're great for use in like white cane days, awareness days, things like that. And many of my customers are university and college programs that prepare education and rehab and medical professionals who want to show their students about the patients or consumers that they'll be working with. So I make 13 different simulators. They simulate different types of eye conditions and different levels of those eye conditions. And I sell them individually, sell them as a set, whatever you want. And everything is on my website at lowvisionsimulators.com with an S on the end of simulators. I'm old and I can't hear that S on the end of simulators anymore.
I'm the same way, Marshall. And your product, the form factor is actually, did you say they're converted welding goggles?
Yeah, there are welders goggles with two separate lenses, so they fit over people's glasses. They're pretty indestructible that way. That it's a welder's goggle. It's vinyl and hard plastic. And sandwiched in between the lens, I use different materials to get that visual acuity and the visual field restriction for the particular conditions. Tunnel vision like retinitis pigmentosa or glaucoma, central blind spot like macular degeneration or Stargardt, and then for head injury, like sometimes people end up with something called homonymous hemianopsia, and that's a hard one to have people understand when you verbally explain it, but when they put the simulator on, they go, oh my gosh, oh, that's what you were talking about.
So this would be great for friends and families, but also I'm envisioning professionals, blindness instructors, or perhaps blindness training centers who incorporate dealing with the family, helping the family understand and also cope with blindness.
Yes, that's exactly, and that's where the VA here at the Blind and Veterans Association, the Veterans Administration, when the different coordinators buy them, that's what they're using them for. Help the family understand what their loved one, their family member is experiencing. And I want to be very clear, this is not the same as having low vision, and I cannot replicate an individual's vision. But I can give you, I can often get it in the ballpark. I mean, these are pretty close to what the person might be seeing, but I don't for a minute say I can make them see exactly what you see. No one can make anybody else in the world see what any of us see.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. And you mentioned that you have 13 different pairs, and price for the entire set
is $499 plus shipping in the U.S. That's like $18 to ship anywhere in the U.S. And that includes a canvas bag with my Fork in the Road logo. If you want it, that's included in the $499. It's $12 cheaper if you don't want the bag.
And you can purchase a particular simulator individually, and what price would we be talking about there?
They're between $33 and $41 a piece.
So if you're interested in just explaining or demonstrating to some extent your own personal visual situation to friends and family members, that might be a good way to go.
Yeah, if what you have matches up pretty closely to what I make all the time, it's great. If you want me to look at something custom, I'll look at it. I may or may not be able to do it, may not be willing to do it, but I'm willing to always look at it and see how close I can get to what it is you have.
And you actually personally convert these welder glasses yourself?
What I do in my spare time.
Great stuff. We're speaking with Marshall Flax, lowvisionsimulators.com. Thanks so much for chatting with us, Marshall.
You're welcome, Steve. Thank you. Bye-bye.
When we share what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap between
the limited expectations and the realities
of blind abilities.
The realities of blind abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.